Hi, welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday. I have my front door open and this morning my neighbors are out mowing their lawn. My next door neighbor is actually chopping his tree, so you may hear him sweeping the ground right now. I have a few neighbors going to work and I will do my best to try to edit the sound out. Also, my husband has a procedure on Monday, and then I've got some hospital things that I need to take care of with my doctor. So I'm going to try my best to upload a video next week. And if I don't, then you know why I didn't. In front of you, I have my Wonderland 222 inside the Hobonichi cover. And here is my Sterling Ink Common Planner. Over here, I have my Sterling Ink N1 housed in the Traveler's Notebook standard size. And then over to the side, which is not laid out here, is my Hobonichi 5-year diary. For June, I decided to draw in it every single day. And other than yesterday, I've been pretty successful. So I will show that in a little bit. So let's start off with the Sterling Ink N1. I've been using this as my step tracker, my weight, exercise, and then I also keep track of my sleep here in the monthly layout. I did miss one day. I thought I wrote it down, but when I came in to record the information on Monday, I realized I didn't do it. So I just went ahead and put a sticker over the blank day. So over here is where I keep track of my weight and steps. So far, so good. The little black stars that you see, that's when I charge my step tracker that I wear on my wrist. And then over here is where I keep track of my meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. These are my vitamins that I take every day. I have one specific one I need to take. Sleep is over here based on my step tracker. What you see written in blue is any pain that I'm feeling. What's in red is my exercise, and I've been really happy because I've kept up with it for the past 4 days. I don't exercise on the weekend because my husband's home, and as of right now, he's still not inclined to do it with me, which is okay. But I've been keeping track of it in red, which I really like because then it pops out, versus last week where I wrote it in blue. And then over here is where I kind of scribbled in some red stuff. When I took some Advil, I had an emergency dental appointment last week. And then when I did my lab, my blood works on Saturday. But I like how it pops out so that I can tell in a glance whether or not I exercised. And then I really need to start my eye drops again. I have not been doing it, but I really need to get back to doing this, or I'm going to hear something from my optometrist. Let's do the 5-year Hobonichi Techo, my diary, which I've been using as my sketchbook. I will have chapters listed down below in case you just want to jump to a specific planner. I will remember to do that, and you can click down below to see which one you want to look at. Yesterday, my husband gave me a new bag I think he got from work. So this is what it looks like. It's a nice bag. But in here, you can sort of see, is where I decided to move all my watercolors. And I have a lot of tins, specifically for my 5-year sketchbook. So I keep it in the bag that came with the cover. And I wish I remember what the name of this was. I don't remember the name, but it is still soft. It's from Hobonichi. I will have to look it up. I can't believe I don't remember the name. But I wanted to share with you what I drew for the month of June. So every day I decided to draw something. And actually for this particular drawing, I decided to film the clip of it being blank so you can see what I started with and then how this ended up. So I will insert that here. So you can see my idea now is, let's just go forward a little bit. So for example, here on the 12th, my intent was to draw every year on the day given. I did not draw in the year 2023 or 2024. Now we're in 2025. What I decided to do, if I have a page like this, is to find something to draw. In this particular case, this is a Japanese skeleton shrimp. And in the 3 rows, I would fill it up with information. The weather is correct for the day in that year. And like for 2024, I have, last year I used this is the Hobonichi A6 Techo. I used this as my diary. And every day at night, I would keep track of the weather and the humidity. So I've been referring back to this to put the date down for 2024. And if I didn't have it in here, then I would just Google it online. So this is for the 1st. This is for the 2nd. This is a blue-bellied night wanderer fish. And if you look this fish up, it is actually see-through. It's clear. I had a hard time trying to show that, so I'm hoping this kind of paley, silvery white color will help indicate that the fish is invisible. Not invisible, but see-through. It's clear. So once again, I filled the 3 rows with information about the fish. This was not a very good picture of a tuft ground squirrel. If you look this squirrel up online, the mass of the tail is bigger than the body. So I didn't draw that very well, but that's what he looks like. Once again, took out 3 rows. And then the last one I have to show you is called the Kingbird of Paradise. Same thing, took out 3 rows to describe the bird. This one's a beautiful bird too, if you decide to look it up. This was yesterday. That is a look of the Hobonichi A5 diary, which I'm using as my sketchbook. Now let's jump to the Wonderland 222. I use this as my writer's journal. So this is what it looks like. I decided to keep track of my habits for the month of June differently than May. I can't decide which one I like better. Probably this one, just because I know whether or not I did something. Whereas with this one, I need to put on my glasses to tell on some days. Like that's a dark brown and a dark blue, which I don't know if you can tell. Probably from afar, it looks like it's black, but I did read on these 2 days. So I don't know if I want to go back to this or stay with this. Regardless, for the month of June, I am going to continue this. And at the end of June, I'm going to decide which one I like better. Now let's go to the weekly layout. Now here, I also decided to try to change how I am using the weekly layout. So before, I was keeping track of my tasks that I needed to do for the day. So between the 2 planners, this is like my dump planner where I put everything in here. This is the one that is more functional, that I keep beside me every day. And let's say a month ago, I didn't have a problem doing this. So writing this down first as I'm doing it, and then on the weekends or when I played catch up in here, I would fill this out using stickers. So here's a page to give you an example. I don't know why for the past week, more than a week, maybe 2 weeks now, it's been really tedious to do this and then I come in here to transfer the same information here into here. So I decided to try something different, and that is to keep track of what I'm doing. So let's see, unfortunately I use different colors here, but I wanted to keep track of when I wrote, how long I wrote, and how many words I wrote during that time frame. And then if I did anything else, whether it's checking emails for my husband, doing work for him, watering the lawn, doing chores around the house, laundry, anything like that, I wanted to highlight it. So I should have been a little bit more consistent, but like over here, the black line are my chores and the tasks that I did around the house or stuff that I did for my husband. And then what you see in red are the time that I spent writing and then how many words I wrote. So this one I didn't do anything. I was having to call the doctor's office and trying to figure out what was going on with stuff, medical stuff. So I didn't get to write yesterday. And then here you can see I spent a lot more time doing chores and things for my husband. I did a little bit of writing. This one I was able to write a bit more in the half-an-hour time slot that I gave myself. So each box for me represented a half an hour, 30 minutes. And I sort of renumbered the hours starting from 8 to 8 because I put the washi tape down. But that's okay. Again, I'm trying this out to see if it works. I don't know if I like this or not either, but I can look back, I can look at this and tell what I did or didn't do versus this. So I don't know, but this is what I did this particular week. And I think I can show you, last week I talked about the Laurel Denise planner. I think she calls this the portrait layout. I need to look it up. But in last week's video, I put a link down to her website. I'm not affiliated with the company. I just really like the layout that she had, which is you have your month up on top, and then in this particular case, she had vertical columns for the week. And again, this is the Wonderland 222, so I had to cut the page so that I can continue looking at the month on top. And since I don't have the money to splurge on her undated planner, I decided to try out the layout in my Wonderland 222 by cutting out the pages and seeing if I like it. So this is what I've been keeping track of with my writing. Up here is when I need to put the appointments. I need to put my husband's appointment down there, and then I have more labs that I need to do on the 23rd. But I kind of liked this. And then this is the daily pages that I'm doing, keeping track of my word count, the scene that I'm working on, and this is sort of working out for me. So I'm going to keep going for the month of June with my daily pages of writing looking like this, keeping track of my word count, and then also over here with the small little vertical columns, keeping track of the same items. Over here, I have over here, but we're still early in this process, so we'll see how that goes. So this is my Wonderland 222. Lastly, let's go to the Sterling Ink Common Planner. So this is what it looks like so far. Let's go to the monthly layout. This is where I keep track of our weather as well as the humidity. So this is for June. There's May. Anything red, the red sun, means that we went over 100 for that day. Here's the weekly layout. that I am doing for this week. Over here in the different rows, I decided to keep track of my drawing, my doodling, as well as my journaling. This way I want to hold myself accountable and make myself try to develop a habit once again on doing this. And so far, other than yesterday, I did pretty well. This is my exercise row. Did okay. I need to do it again today. And then over here is the backyard. Whether or not I watered it, whether or not I watered my house plants. And I like doing this because then that way I don't have to put the same sticker down every single day. I have a row. I can check off what I want to do for whichever sticker that I am doing. So this one is journaling, exercising, gardening. And then up here on top is my task using the stickers. So I kind of like it. I think this cat washi tape, either my sister purchased for me or I purchased myself at Daiso. And this is what last week looked like. Now let's go to the daily pages. There's not too much to share here. I think I last left you maybe here. This was my sister's cat peeking through the door. Under here is my mom with my family. Here's Kit Kat sleeping on the couch. I made a little cave for him, so he stuck his head in there to go to sleep. This is the pineapple plant that I talked about that belonged to my nephew. He was looking at that. This I clipped out from a magazine. I think it was the Costco magazine. It talked about sun safety and about wearing your sunglasses and a hat when you go outside to protect your eyes from UV rays. I chipped my tooth, so I had to go see a dentist. So I wrote a little bit about that. This is a picture of my nephew going back to Hawaii. And he was able to walk on the tarmac, is that what it's called, to get on the plane. So this was a picture of him in line, getting ready to get onto the plane. Over here on Saturday, same day when my nephew took off, was my mom trying out her reading glasses. My sister was giving my mom some of her food. This is a magazine cutout, I think also from Costco. And then I cut this out and put it in here because I do have a red slider turtle. His name is Bert. Ernie passed away a couple years ago. And then a goldfish. I used to have goldfish. So I just want to put that down. And then over here, if I find more magazine stuff, I may just go ahead and paste it in here. And then lastly is a quote that I found on Facebook from a page called Sweatpants and Coffee. And it says, no matter what, hang on to the part of you that gasps at a beautiful sunset or gets super excited about a new notebook or a freshly baked cupcake or a dog you just met on the street. Allow yourself to be regularly startled and humbled by joy. And I like what she had to say. So I went ahead and wrote it down. Try to find some corresponding stickers to put in here. And just wanted a reminder for myself as I flip through this that I guess it's just the small things in life that should make you grateful. That is a look of what I've done this past week in my planners. That bird is just happy for today. That is it for my planners. I hope you liked what I did. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you'd like to see after the pin videos. And if you want to hear the bird, maybe he'll be here next week too. Hopefully I will be. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.